Welcome back to the Learn to Love You show. My name is Renita Hills, and once again, I am still your host for the evening. I'm having such a great time enjoying you guys, and I'm having so much fun doing this show. I can't believe it. We're still talking about forgiveness. But before we do that, I keep forgetting about our sponsors. God, they're gonna cut me off in a minute. We want to thank Voice of the Victim for being a sponsor for us. They're the support that we have and that we need to continue moving on with this show. Voice of the Victim is a organization that works with victims and survivors, domestic abuse, abusive behavior, and sexual assault. We help them. We help people, men and women. We help people with families and people without families. We help them with housing if need be. We help them with clothing if need be. We help you to find jobs. We help you to get the right things needed to leave and be successful legally when you leave your abuser. This is what Voices of Victim is about. And the Learn to Love You show is so happy that we have a collaboration where we're working together to build one team, one voice, and one force to annihilate domestic violence, abusive behaviors, and a sexual assault. We got to bring an end to it. I want to one day be able to say, this is our last show because we've got the news, we got the word that domestic violence, abusive behavior, and sexual assault has been completely abolished and is no longer in existence. Yes, I want to be worked out of my own job. I want the day to come when domestic violence is no longer an issue. It's now a common thing. It's a household word. I want it to come to a point where it's an anonymity. It's an unused thing. I can't talk to that, y'all. But I want it to be something where it's so unusual to hear about domestic violence. I want it to be unusual for somebody to talk about abusive behaviors. I want sexual assault to be so far away from the norm that when they say sexual assault, what first of all, what does assault mean? That's how much I want to work. That's how I work and why I work so hard. So that one day it won't even be a topic of discussion. Unfortunately, right now, 1 out of 5 women right now is being abused within the next 15 seconds. Count 1001 to 1015, and one woman is being abused. The next time you go to a family gathering, go to work, go to a conference, go to church, count 7 men. One of those 7 men is being abused. And I bet some of y'all are out there thinking, wow, I got a house full of men in my house. One of those 7 is being abused. Somebody's out there thinking, ooh, I ain't got nothing but women in my family. One of those women is possibly being abused. And the only way we're going to be able to annihilate it is one, to educate. Because a lot of times we don't know we're being abused. We're thinking, oh, he just say that all the time. But verbal abuse is still abuse. He don't mean anything. He just pushed me a little bit. That's physical abuse if you didn't want to be pushed and you said no. Well, I shouldn't have wore this dress on this date because it is showing cleavage and a little bit more of my thigh than I want to. But did you say no? And if you said no, did he stop? When you said no, did she stop? Because yes, women are now being found guilty of sexual assault. This is why we work so hard. And this is why I'm so thankful that Voice of the Victim has come together and we're collaborating and we're working to educate the community as they are working to provide the resources needed for the community. With that being said, we're going to segue right into our third part of forgiveness. Today, we're going to talk about forgiving yourself. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. With all we just talked about, with domestic violence, abusive behavior, and sexual assault, the one thing that me, and I always use myself as an example, the one thing that I had to learn, and I'm still learning, oh my gosh, I'm still learning it, is to forgive myself for what happened. Well, Renita, what are you forgiving yourself for? You didn't do anything. He stabbed you. But I'm the one that said, yes, I'll go out with you. And when that first flag came up, that first red flag that went in the air, I'm the one that said, oh, no big deal. I'm the one that introduced him to my children. And I'm the one that decided, okay, come on, move in. I'm the one that when he kept talking about how fat I was, I said, well, maybe I should lose weight when I wasn't weighing but 2 seconds worth of anything anyway. You were counting my ribs and my hips before they told me to lose weight. I'm the one that went out there and ran 2 miles twice a day in the sand just to make them feel like, okay, I got to lose weight to make them still like me. I'm the one that stopped cooking the way I like to cook and started trying to cook the way they want me to cook. I'm the one that changed who I truly was. I'm the one that lost my authentic me. And I'm the one that subjected my children because of all those poor decisions I made. Because I ignored all the red flags. Because I ignored everything that I knew was wrong. I'm the one that subjected my children to find me in the living room in a pool of my own blood. That was me. I had to learn, number one, to own my part in all of this. And I did that. That part I owned. I owned that it was my fault. I owned that I played a part in my own abuse. I didn't forgive myself for it, though. Even now, I still hold myself accountable. I still beat myself up about it. I look at my kids and I'm like, golly, if I had made better choices, your lives would be so much better. But what's wrong with their lives? They're doing so well. But I felt like, my son would have a dad, my daughters would be daddy's girls, they would have this and they would have that and they would have the other. But on the flip side of the coin, if I stayed in that situation, I might not be here. And they wouldn't have a dad at all because he would have been incarcerated. And they would have been raised by somebody, hopefully in my family. I have to learn how to forgive myself because, in all honesty, you're the best you can with what you have at the time that you had to do it. I did my best. I did what I thought was best. This is why we work so hard because in my situation, I thought that was the only option I had. But as we're doing these shows, I'm hoping, I'm praying that somebody realizes that you're not stuck in that box. You have options, you have choices, you have opportunities. You can do something different. You're not only that thing that he said you are. You're not stuck to being that one thing that she says you are. You are bigger. You are better. You are brighter. And when you get away, don't take that back. Don't wait till you get away from your abuser. Don't wait till you get out of the situation. Don't wait till you're on steady ground. Learn to forgive yourself now. Stop and look in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I am enough. I am whole. I am everything God created me to be. I may not be walking in it, but the path is there, and I just got to pick up my shoes and walk it out. Remind yourself every single day you are worthy. You are enough. You are whole. You are a child's king. You belong to God. And God don't make junk. If you're still here on the top side of the soil, there's a reason why you're here. There's a purpose for you to fulfill. And the purpose starts with one, asking God to forgive you. He already has. forgiving that person and letting it go, giving it back to God, give all that pain back to God. And it's not going to be easy. I promise you, letting that pain go is not going to be easy. Sometimes holding on to the pain because we're used to it is more comfortable than letting go because we don't know what we're letting go to. We don't know what's going to happen when we let. I know what this pain feels like, but I don't know what it's going to feel like if I let it go. What's going to take its place? We don't know. Ask God to forgive you. He already has. Forgive that person and learn to let it go. And I also promise you, when you let one thing go, another thing might come up that you need to let go and forgive and let go too. Then look in the mirror and forgive yourself. You did the best you can with what you had at the time that you had to do it. Move on. Let it go. Give yourself a break. I'm learning how. Haven't mastered it. Actually, I've just got to hitting it with that class I'm in. Just getting started on it. So this will be a journey that we'll be doing together. Please do me a favor. This is really going to help me if you do this. 1, like, subscribe, and share. Then go down to the comment section. Tell me what you think. Inbox me. Go to Facebook, Renita Hill, Renita Author. Find me on Facebook and inbox me. Let's talk about this forgiveness thing. If you need some resources, I'll help you find it. If you need a therapist, if you're in this Indianapolis area, I have a plethora of phenomenal family therapists and counselors, a whole wonderful people that would love to work with you. If you're not in the Indianapolis area, let me know. We can research some in your area. And if you notice, I keep saying we. I'm not planning on sending you out there on your own. You have support. You have resources. Now, I may not be able to get to you, but I can point you to someone in your area that can help you. You're not alone. You can do this. I believe in you. I have faith in you. But you have to believe and have faith in yourself. Okay? Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, God's fingerprints are all over you. When He sat down and created you, He made you all by yourself. I don't care if you're a twin, triplet, quadruplet. You are an individual, uniquely, fearfully, and wonderfully made. And He made you with a purpose, and He had a plan for you in mind. As you go through your next day, and until next time, remember, beneath your skin and behind those beautiful eyes is a wonderful you. Learn to love you. Until next time, good night.